Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
Hello, Fortitude audience. Thank you for joining us today. I am Heather, the host, with my husband, Amos, who's the co-host.
Hello.
And today we have Paul and Bethany with us, who are the brains behind Mission-Haiti and also the passion that comes with it. Being globally known and doing the work that you guys do is really special. So thank you for the work that you do. It's really neat.
Thanks for inviting us.
You're
Such
welcome.
a pleasure to be here.
So we officially met at a Wonderful Kingdom Capital evening at Mr. Matt Jensen's house. And getting to know you and you sharing your story with me in that exact moment, I was like, yes, I have to have you guys on. And Paul, we've seen each other in the community in different aspects. And so it really is an honor. If you guys can just jump in, share about who you are, your love, your family. And then Paul, we're going to go back to Haiti. Okay.
All right.
So go ahead.
Again, thank you so much for having us. My name is Paul Perissien, and I serve as Executive Director of Mission-Haiti, which is a nonprofit organization that is based out of Sioux Falls, and we serve people in Haiti. And our motto is to love Jesus, love others, and make disciples. And I get to also work with my wife, Bethany.
Yes, I am Bethany Perissien. I was born and raised here in Sioux Falls. Kind of surprised I'm back. Never thought I would be back in Sioux Falls. But
join the club. You're in good company.
Paul and I have been married for, now on the spot, 11 years. And we have 3 children, 7, 6, and 4, Tiona, Luna, and Leo. So,
okay. They are really, really beautiful. You guys make beautiful children. I was looking at the picture and I was like, oh, man.
They're a cute little mix.
They are. And you guys met while in Florida, which is really a fun story because Red Lobster serving tables, God brought you together over some lobster.
Sure did. Literally. Over shrimp scampi and those awesome Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Oh, yes. I think I have some in my cupboard in a box. I really
I'm
do.
surprised that Red Lobster actually sells them because it's like what gets people in the door. So I'm surprised that they're sold outside.
Well, thank you, Red Lobster, for bringing these 2 together because
not a sponsor.
The impact that y'all are having is big. But I want to go back to Haiti because Paul, you moved here when your family did when you were 10.
Yep.
But for a long time, your mom was a single mama with 4 boys in Haiti. So dig into that story a little bit.
Yeah. I'm born in 85. So around that time, Haiti was still unstable. The dictatorship was moving away and it was getting to be a republic. So my father worked for actually this mission organization that was leaving because things were getting to be so unstable in Haiti. And he essentially got a one-way ticket to go to the States. And even though he had a pretty good job in Haiti, he knew that for him to be the best father and husband, that he needed to go to the States so that he could have a better life. So I was just under 2 years old when he left in 87. And he left, me, my 3 brothers, and my mother in Haiti. And Haiti was still the quote unquote the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. So you can kind of guess how that type of life was for me and my brothers and my mother. Even though we had a father that lived in the States, a lot of times, he would send money when he could. He would work hard so that we could not go hungry. But there were days that, unfortunately, we went without, having sustenance because things would get so hard. And, as a kid living in Haiti, a lot of times you don't feel the poverty just because you have parents that talk you through it. And I can vividly remember my my mom telling me to just look up and just look up at the sky. Just look at all the beautiful things in the sky. So, so many different things were used to, have our mind still know that there is hope. And that's exactly what my mom and my dad did, where even though I grew up poor, me and my brothers shared one bed for like the first 8-9 years of our lives. All of us slept in one bed. Even though things were really hard, we had hope because we knew that with our dad living in the States, that he would be able to essentially send money over to us, which is something that most Haitians, most of our neighbors, most of the kids that we played soccer with did not have. They essentially had no hope, where in 96, my father was able to send for me and my 3 brothers and my mother, and we moved to South Florida. And that's when our lives changed forever, for the better.
Yeah.
Because we moved from, a third world to a first world.
What was that like when I just picture that moment when you get the news and you're 10 and you're like, we're going where? Like, what kind of emotions were you going through?
A lot. And they were all mostly good because we knew what that promise was. We heard of, one of the stories that we heard of the States is people just walk around and they will have tape on their shoes because money will just flock to them. Like they will just have money that just sticks in the shoes. So that didn't happen. But we knew the change. We knew that we were essentially transported into a different world, and almost everything was different. We knew that we would have opportunities that our friends, our cousins would never have. It was a little difficult not knowing the language, not knowing the culture shock, and being made fun of, not being able to speak the language. But, to us, that was nothing compared to the opportunities that we knew was ahead of us.
Was there families and different people that wrapped around? Because that's a big piece of what we're dealing with right now, right? So people move in, and we have immigrants, and then you go, well, do we have organizations that are helping, that are reaching out, that are being the hands and the feet? Because did that happen for you guys?
It happened in the sense of the community.
Okay.
When we lived in West Palm Beach, we were blessed to be able to go to a Haitian church, right? You had that Haitian community, but, things were difficult at school because, you're just put into this classroom and your teacher does not know your language, and you do not know his or her language yet. But, me and my brothers and mom and dad, we have a close relationship because we had to rely on each other so much.
Okay. And your parents and brothers they're all alive and all doing well?
They're all alive. They're all in Florida.
Okay.
Some are in Orlando, West Palm Beach. And we do have a sister now she was born in the States. So she's, quote unquote, the only full-blood American in the family. I still get to see them a couple of times a year, and we have a very close relationship.
I think about the day that your dad, just having you all show up, because he'd been gone for so long. Did he ever take trips back?
So from the time I was 2 to the time I was 10, I saw my father twice.
Man,
for like a week.
Incredible reuniting of the family together.
For sure.
Right? Like just how special that would be.
Yeah. In Haiti, they speak, is it Creole?
Yep.
Is that a common misconception? Do people think they speak Spanish or French
or Haitian?
Haitian,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. So Haitian Creole is what we speak,
which is a flavor of French, right?
Correct.
Due to French colonization back in the early 1900s.
Yep. So in the 16, 17, and 1800s. Yeah. So we speak French and Creole. So those are the two languages of Haiti, Haitian Creole and French. But mostly Creole is what is most widely spoken, where French is usually spoken in professional settings. So
French is still alive.
Interesting.
French is still alive.
Yeah, so you would think you'd move to South Miami and you could just speak Spanish. I think people would make that misconception.
Yeah.
And so that language barrier, Heather, you know what that was like just spending a couple weeks in Germany.
It's
hard.
I got depressed the first 3 days we were in Germany because I couldn't communicate with people. And I would make eye contact with people because I didn't want them to start talking to me. And I'm like, nothing. I got nothing. And so I just wasn't looking at people or communicating non-verbally or verbally. And I quickly realized that I looked at Amos and I was like, what? Oh, I feel super depressed. And it's because that's what I'm built for, is connection with people. I mean, we're all built for that, but.
So then she got really American in Europe. Like, look me in the eyes.
I was like, I'm like, why am I not looking people in the eye? Who cares if it's awkward? I'm awkward, I don't care. So it flipped very quickly.
Did you find yourself avoiding contact when you got here?
No. So I learned to really look at nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
That was huge for me because I made so many mistakes, not really understanding. So I had to learn very quickly that I did have to really pay attention. Like when I was in school, my eyes,
That's okay.
When I was in school, my eyes would be locked into the teacher.
Yeah.
And having conversations and looking at what other people are doing before I would do it. I still get myself in trouble now, even though I kind of know the culture a little bit. I still have to pay attention to those verbal, especially those non-verbal cues, to kind of quote unquote act right, right, to that specific culture.
And besides the language, what was the biggest culture shock?
Gosh, that's a good question. Food was different, but just living in a different world, just being in a different world, and so many aspects of life where you have to learn. Everything is new to you, but language for sure was the hardest part. Language was the hardest part, and I can remember that I think it was 9th grade that I really, really understood what the teacher was saying and really understood what I was reading. So that was
4 years.
Yeah.
That was 4
years. Yeah. So that was in 9th grade that I could really, really understand. Before that, I got maybe 40, 50, 60% of all of those different interactions, which can be difficult.
Did they have any special tutoring or special classes and different things that they'd pull you out for?
Yeah, that's a great
good.
question. So I was in 6th grade. So my first year in the States was in a school that was predominantly had a lot of minorities, had a lot of students from Haiti, had a lot of students from South America, right? So there was the ESOL, or English as a Second Language program that I was part of. So all of my 4 classes, you had teachers that were Haitians, you had teachers that were Hispanics that could help you through that transition. But then my 7th grade, I moved to a neighborhood where it was about 98, 97% Caucasian. Ooh. So not a lot of minorities. So that was when it really, really became difficult. But, I had teachers that were really caring and loving and patient and kind. And other teachers, it was not that they were not loving, caring, but they just did not get me. They just did not understand me. And they did not know how to, quote unquote, deal with a kid that doesn't know how to speak the language, right? So there were some frustrations back and forth.
That is such a big piece of my heart, and why we do this podcast is like what you don't know. You don't know the impact that you can have or that you're not having, and the engagement and really going above and beyond to help. Like, what are the things we need to know? What could have made a difference, and the programs that we need to have in schools, or the programs that maybe we're doing that you're like, why are we wasting money on this when we could be investing it? And I'm probably speaking your language when it comes to why you do what you do in Haiti too, right? So I want to go a little bit to Bethany. What did your parents What was your family and everyone thinking when you married a full Haitian, or you fell in love with this Red Lobster Haitian?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
My mom she's kind of a goof nugget, but she when I went off to college, she told me to bring home a beautiful black man.
She was joking.
I mean, so like you can't ever say that I'm not an obedient child, right? My mom.
I don't know about beautiful, but she.
Well, I got part of it.
Yeah,
And I did the best I could.
The smile.
No, my mom has missionaries in her family,
Okay.
and integrated like marriage within like the mission community. Like her cousin's married to a Nigerian, things like that. So like on my mom's side, it was a different story. My dad is from New Holland, South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you can it doesn't take much imagination to the dynamic of people there. And so that one was more of like, oh boy, what are we going to do? But when I called my grandma and told her that Paul was going to come to Christmas, I was just like, I just got to tell you just so you're aware, like he's black. And she just starts giggling and she's like, oh, does he have, and then inserted this name of this disease that makes your skin turn darker that she was just reading about. And she's just cackling. And this is like not ever a conversation I would have ever had with my grandma. And I was like, no, pretty sure he's black. Like his parents are black. He was born in Haiti, whatever. And it was his first trip to South Dakota. Within 24 hours, we were on our way to New Holland, just him and my dad and me. For some reason, it was only us. And he walks into my grandparents' house and he just sits down and hears my grandpa's war stories and all the things. And my grandparents just instantly fell in love with him. And it was very, very quick as to they saw him as a person. So it was very easy. And Paul is a very likable human being, but just for people to realize that what the concerns that could be there, it's about the heart. And and there's a lot of interracial, biracial marriages that have to fight that for a really long time within their families, or even again when they have kids and stuff like that. And it should be known that my mom's like joke about me bringing home beautiful black men. She wanted little mixed babies for sure in her family. So,
she got them.
She got them. There they are. We're very, very grateful for the way it's panned out. And Paul's family, very accepting of me. And I made a big effort with Paul's family from the beginning to be like, I want to learn about the Haitian culture. I want to learn language. I remember talking to Paul's mom and just kind of having a little bit of a difficult time because of some of the language barriers. I'm like, someday I'm going to be able to speak to you in your language. And so now I usually do. It's a lot easier for me to communicate with her in Creole. And her English has gotten way better just in the 12 years or whatever that I've been in your family's lives. But it's fun to be able, when you can communicate to someone on their original language, like it breaks down things. So,
well, and it's beautiful that shows you care too, that you've taken the time to learn the language to be able to communicate with her. That's got to be
Except a disclaimer, I feel like it is important to say that Paul's brothers were not as excited because they used to talk in Creole about like the wives and the girlfriends, and they could say things of like concocting plans together. And the first time they realized that I could track this, they're like, this is no fun anymore.
Your Haitian Creole is too good. The only other thing that I like to add about Bethany's grandparents, especially Corny, like under surface, we're so different, right? Here is this Haitian kid, and here is this Caucasian person that was born in New Holland, South Dakota. But like, we are so different. We are from two different worlds. But he and I grew up kind of the same way. He had an outhouse, and I had an outhouse. I love history, and he could tell me about World War II.
Yeah.
So under surface, we seem so different, but But I think deeply he and I were so alike. And also what I knew that what bind us together is that my parents and Bethany's parents raised us the same way, which is to love Jesus and to love God. So I knew that whatever it was on the surface, that we could get past that because we both serve the same God. And they raised us really the same way, to love Jesus and love your neighbors and be the best person that you can be.
I love how you're not skirting around the race issue.
Yeah.
Like there's no
It's
hesitation there. In a world, in a culture where we're taught to be colorblind and just ignore race, you guys are embracing it. I love that fact. And then you circled around and said, but we're still all the same too. We're all the same in Christ. We all bleed red. We have the same Christ. And so we're not different, but we're the same, but we're different. And I just think that's a wonderful way to approach it. The celebration of differences, not that they're bad, because you can celebrate them. So it's a great counter to the culture.
Yeah. And even just literally this morning, breakfast table conversation with the kids, like they asked so many questions, and we started talking about like the colors again. And I told them, like, they were talking about, hey, when you were young, like, were there slaves? Or when grandma and grandpa were young, were there slaves back then? You know, giving them kind of like timelines on things, and like, no, it wasn't that way. But there were certain things that like Black people didn't have the rights. But then I also could tell them that like, you guys are important. It's important for you to know that you are white and Black. Like, we never just call you Black. Like, and that back in the day, like if you had 1 ounce of Blackness in you, you were Black. And like, no, like it's very important for you guys to know that you are both. Like, we will say you are mixed. We will say you are light brown, but you are never either Black nor white. Like, you're both.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's really beautiful. Yes.
For me,
there is so much more to this conversation that I got.
Right?
Sorry, we have to
keep
go around.
going.
keep moving.
Yeah. So like, it's important for the kids to also know about their Dutch heritage and their German heritage, and of course their Haitian heritage as well. You know, it's both of us that make them who they are.
What an exciting life they have, to be able to know they come from both of these worlds, and you two have come together, and because of your heritage and how your family raised you, but you're coming together and you're doing really big, beautiful things together versus fighting and being decisive. And it's one way or the other way, you know, that decisiveness and, you know, pointing different fingers. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. You can really come together and celebrate, like Amos said, celebrate each other's differences. That's what our world needs to, I think, do much better at right now. So when it comes to what you do, what God has put in your laps for your every single day life now, because there's a lot of trips back and forth to Haiti because you have built something very beautiful. So can you guys talk more about what is going on in Haiti right now and what you're doing to help the people in Haiti?
Yeah. So, we moved to Haiti in 2014. So Mission-Haiti itself was already functioning, and this amazing young woman, Pam Plaisir, started Mission-Haiti. And but in 2014, God called us to move there. And Bethany had never visited Haiti. And I came back and I said, hey, how about we move to Haiti in 6 months? And what did you say, Bethany?
All right.
So without
great.
Even ever being there. So
And no kids yet.
2014.
Made that all right just a little bit easier.
That is much easier.
2014 without kids. And very quickly after that, we started to be in leadership position with Mission-Haiti and living there. And Mission-Haiti specifically, the biggest thing that we do is schools, where back in the day, we operated about 4 or 5 schools. Now we operate 9 schools. We have a medical clinic that sees close to 13,000 patients a year.
16,000 patients a year.
I'm the medical director over here.
Thank you very much. We have an elderly home where we have 16, 17 elders. Most of them cannot see and they cannot walk properly. And they have a home, they have community, and we do evangelism. We have a small orphanage, and we also help build homes and so forth. And I say that just to kind of, I sometimes have to remind me the amazing things that are going on in Haiti and the amazing work that is going on by the amazing people that are in Haiti. Because Haiti is still the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And you've heard me say that a couple of times. I'll probably keep on saying it just because I was quickly reminded of that when I was growing up. And it's something that I don't shy away from because it is the truth. Right now, the Haitian people do not have a president. The capital city is 80% of the capital city is run by gangs. And 80% of the capital city is controlled by gangs.
That is not an insignificant number.
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
What's the population of Haiti?
About 11,000.
11 million.
Million.
11 million.
I went, wait, hold on. You service? Okay. 11 million.
11 million.
Wow. And so
people.
What's the underlining reason for, I mean, because there's got to be wealth. There's food coming in, there's money coming in, but it just is not getting to the people. Is that, because that's what you hear.
For sure. So many, Haiti gained its independence in 1804. It was the first Black republic. And Haiti's first president was like our George Washington, right? He fought against the French to help Haiti gain its independence. And he became president. But then 2 years after he was in power, he was assassinated by some other different groups in Haiti. So, imagine if George Washington was assassinated by maybe John Adams, right? The history of the United States would be so different. Haiti was also closed off as well, where, United States and the UK and other countries did not recognize Haiti as a country because at that time and place, those countries also had slaves as well. And Haiti was the first successful slave rebellion. Wow. So it's a lot of things, but a lot of it, I, as a Haitian, I look at myself first. What can I, as a Haitian, do to help the country that I was born in? I can look at so many different outside factors of different times that different countries had control of Haiti and the terrible things that other countries have done. But, we as Haitians, we are smart. We have capabilities. So what can we do? And I think it's because of our leaders, what can we as Haitian leaders do to change the trajectory of the country? So for me, it's, what can we do to get the gangs out? Or when can we have some good government and power? But for our work is, we need to spread the gospel. We need to spread the word of Christ. Because when you have some of the poorest people in a country, in a place, we will do anything to survive, right? We will do anything to take care of our family members. But when you are looking in an eternal perspective, maybe you will not do certain things. Right. But, it's on us to also provide education, right? To provide medical care and to see how we can help with the infrastructure or create jobs. So that is our work, with Mission-Haiti.
There's what I love is that there's a lot of people in this location that really have a heart for Haiti. I just had coffee with Gretchen Schaefer, who goes over there, and that's her family. She has such a heart. And then Kayla and Waybear Raymond over in Iowa, that's their that's their home. That's what they were living there too, and then got pushed out for safety, for life, for livelihood. So when you get told you can't go back to a place that you feel like is home in your family, I can't imagine how hard that is, right? So 2014, you moved there, but you're not living there anymore. So how did you guys end up back in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, so we left at the end of September of 2021.
Okay.
There was some issues going on within our community where we were not supported, and there were violent attacks on us very specifically as a family and as a mission, and threats. And we called the community out saying, you need to stand up against this kind of action. And we didn't feel the support that we had. So our board made the decision to pull all of the missionaries out. At that point, we had 12, I think, foreign missionaries on the ground, because we had a English teacher program where native English teachers would come down and do co-teaching.
Okay.
And so we all left thinking it was going to be a month or two. We have done these evacuations multiple times, too many times in the last years before. And I remember one of the teachers turning to me and being like, what if this is it? Like, what if they don't let us go back? And I said to her, I was like, I can't go there in my head. That's just not even like whatever. And sure enough, the decision was made by the board with our support, our painful support, that we weren't going to be sending missionaries back. And
this was following the hurricane?
There was an earthquake.
It was an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID.
Yes. Yep. COVID was a lot different scenario for Haiti than it was for the United States. It played into it within the dynamic of the people we had on the ground, but its prevalence was different.
Okay.
So yeah, we had a big earthquake. And so if you ask our oldest, she will tell you the earthquake is why we left. She will ask God why he sent an earthquake to get us out.
Because your kids loved it. You had all three kids. That was their only thing, their home that they've known.
Their home.
Oh, wow.
And they would all three go back right away if they could and live there. So anyway, we had to restructure our entire family, our entire mentality, our entire relationship was Haiti bound. And so it was painful for sure. And it is painful to some degree to not be where you want to be and where you think you should. But the clouds are clearing and we're starting to see things within a clearer realm now, and ended up making Mission-Haiti more sustainable. Things that would have taken us a long time to get off of our plates within just like, what do you call it when you tell someone to take a job? Like when you pass on
a successor?
Yeah, that's not the word I'm looking for, but okay. Oh, well.
This Asian guy will not be able to help you with that word.
Delegate. That is it.
Yeah,
That's
Go, Heather.
I was like, I know I've heard you say it before. So things we would have taken a long time to delegate were an immediate necessity. And so, and just looking back as different positions we had put in place months before, years before, it was like, oh, like that makes sense now because the Lord knew we weren't going to be down there.
Wow.
But the fact that like Mission-Haiti isn't missionaries, Mission-Haiti isn't Paul and Bethany, Mission-Haiti is the team on the ground that continues the work. Right. And so we just get to like, my oldest the other day was like, so you just sit at a computer all day. Like, could you do cooler work? Like, that doesn't seem, that doesn't seem like real work. She's like, we're empowering the people on the ground to do what they need to do.
And is that hard? Not hearing that from your daughter, but like, but hard. I mean, I can't imagine the pull on your guys' heart, not because Paul, you just got back. You were down there for a couple weeks or at least like 10 days or something.
Yeah.
So going back and this back and forth tug on your heart of being in it and then behind a computer and then in it, right?
It's a world of emotions.
Yeah.
Like, we still feel ourselves so lucky to be able to still do this work. But, we lived with those people for 8 years. Our kids went to school in Haiti and going up and down the mountain and, being so grateful to still be able to do the work. But a huge part of our lives or of our emotions are still in Haiti. And you mentioned the Raymonds, and they're such good friends of ours, but, having to go to their house a couple of times and just talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Because they can understand that pull, wanting to be in Haiti, wanting to, do life with the people there. It's still hard. It's still something that gets emotional. And for us as a family, one of the biggest blessings that we had is we're able to go and do counseling session for like almost a month. Because like you said, you had things like COVID, you had the earthquake, and then there was a tropical storm right after the earthquake, and then rocks thrown at our family and threats and so forth. How do you move on, right? How do you continue to serve people in the community that you love so much and that you want to do the work, but then now we have to leave, and now we quote unquote have to put our kids at school here, where we just want to put them at school in Haiti. But at the same time, the people that we serve, they could use some therapy. They could use some counseling. They could use a safer place, and they're not getting that, but we are.
Right.
So many different emotions and feelings that we continually have to fight, continually to remember to be grateful for what we have, that we can still be able to tell the stories of those wonderful human beings, but then be like, dang, Haiti, when are you going to get your crap together? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
There's a survivor's guilt there
for us. Yeah.
For us. And you ask our kids, they're backwards in their mentality, that they'll say, why did we have to leave and the orphanage get to stay? The words that they use. And I'm not going to correct that in their mind because it's not going to be helpful for them. But eventually I will. But, that mentality of like, we got the shaft in that scenario where we are blessed and it's hard. It's, and this summer we got the chance to spend 2 months there, and Haitians were very thankful, like overwhelmingly, because they knew, and they weren't bitter at us when we left again, but they were thankful that we could share our lives again with them as much as we could.
This contrast between the danger there and your hearts is incomprehensible. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what we hear, and then maybe you can clarify this, is the danger. And I hear you talk about getting a rock thrown at you, and you want to bring your kids back and put them in that situation, which is counterintuitive to being parents, right? But also, as you were basically rejected, you want to go back into the fire, and like you're strongly drawn to this. Help our listeners comprehend that. Where's that coming from?
Yeah. So, we left in 21, and when we spent time this summer with our kids for about almost 2 months, we did not stay in our home in Haiti. We stayed about 20 to 25 minutes away from our home, the compound. So, it has been a process of, when we are believers, our first most important thing is to love God, right? And then our first mission is our family. So we've had to have great, deep conversation as to, what level of danger are we going to put ourselves in? And then our kids. We love the work that we do with Mission-Haiti, but Mission-Haiti is not the most important thing in our life. Yeah. It's our relationship as husband and wife, and then our responsibilities as father and mother to our kids. So there's so many different little steps that we have taken in order for us to feel quote unquote safe when we go back to Haiti. It was not until the last 2 times that Bethany and I went without our kids that we stayed in the compound. and the place that we called home. And, you know, the first night was tough for me, especially, you know, where we stayed. There were PTSD about the earthquake that first night. There was PTSD or people going through rocks again, right? But, you know, it's that balancing of taking risk that you know are low-level risk and also trusting God as well, but putting your spot in a safe situation for your friends and for your family and for your kids, where it's a constant battle.
I would like to point out, it is important to say that our area of Haiti is a lot different if you're comparing like our area to the Raymonds and other areas within Port-au-Prince or closer to Port-au-Prince where gangs have active control. Where for us, it's there are multiple things in play, but for in this scenario right now, and it could change today or tomorrow, but right now it's the trips in and out, the traveling throughout the country that's been difficult. Our area has been quite peaceful, and everybody just kind of makes a new normal, right? There's less imports and there's less this and that because of gang control throughout the entire country. But our area has been a different scenario.
So there's safe areas, there's bad areas. We think of Haiti as just geographically small. So in my mind, I think it's very condensed. And so the way it is in one place is the way it is everywhere else. And it's a misconception, I think. So thanks for clarifying that. So when you're going in, you're being very intentional about where you're going. Are you getting in to the thick of things and then getting back out when it gets dark, going back to a safe place? I mean, are you transitioning into the thick of things and then?
Yeah. So now when we go into Haiti, we go into the capital city, which again is the most dangerous part. But thankfully, we are kind of in a bubble when we go in there because we are around the airport area. We used to take a 5-hour drive from Port-au-Prince to our base. So we cannot make that 5-hour drive anymore because of how dangerous it is around Port-au-Prince. So now we just take a small plane, just a couple of steps from the airport to the smaller regional airport, and we go directly to Lake Eyes, which is Haiti's third biggest city, about 45 minutes from our base, our hometown. So when we are in our base now we feel pretty safe. Where it, you know, if we had to make that trip around Port-au-Prince, that's a very, very difficult situation.
We can't really get into this because it's almost time to wrap up here. But if people want to go and read about what's really going on in Haiti, it's very painful. It's painful to know that human life can be so devalued and that there's beheading just right in the streets. And just, so it's really, really evil. Like it's evil. So prayer, what else can we be doing in the whole, like you think about how big the world is, right? And yet we're a little podcast, but if you could voice it to the world, what would you say beyond prayer? Because prayer is number one.
Yeah. Gosh, you know, almost everybody in our hometown, in the areas that we serve, you know, they want to leave and they want to go somewhere safe. They want to go to a different country. And some people have, but we know that most people will not be able to. They'll have to stay in that muck. And again, we are so blessed to be able to tell their stories because, you know, they still go days without food. They don't know when gangs are going to come to their door. If there's an earthquake or a hurricane, their homes might fall on them. They have no clue when Haiti is going to have a president. So, you know, the small little difference that we make when we look at Haiti as a whole, we can get discouraged. But when we know of the stories of the mother that can send their kids to school and not have to worry if that kid is going to eat or not, or being able to go get medical care, being able to just have that hope of education, of healthcare, of having a good school to send their kids to, that is huge. So, support organizations in Haiti are huge.
Yeah.
You can go to w.mission-haiti.org and help us continue to do that work because it is life-saving.
Yeah.
I think we could probably link some other mission organizations too.
For sure.
In Haiti that we have very good relationships with, that we know this money isn't getting extorted, like that kind of stuff. So we could help people have confidence where their money's going.
There's a lot of wonderful organizations,
really good organizations
like the Raymonds and Haiti Alive that are around here that we know do amazing work in Haiti.
Okay. I'll make sure that we get that all linked in with your episode. And so this has been wonderful. Thank you for being just very apparent, being very open and honest and real with us about what you guys do, but what you've gone through just from your childhood to marriage to now what you're doing. I mean, there's so much more to unpack in all of it, but just for people to get an overview is really great. So thank you for being here today, you guys, and sharing with our audience.
Our pleasure. And thanks to you and Amos for giving us this opportunity and also being so open with your story as well of helping people. Means a lot.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We want to change lives through this podcast. And if you want to support this podcast or our guests, please see the links below for our Patreon and giving links.
And like and subscribe and also share our podcast as much as possible. Thank you.